with the local department, shuttle water.
So my name is Edric Williams. I'm operations manager for field ops. And while I have everybody's attention, yes. One of our processes here currently is that someone has to escort people through the building. So if anyone needs to use the restroom, males can see Jorge, females can see Tracy. Because somebody has to be in attendance and they'll let you back in with their badge.
Anything else we need to cover as far as if there's an emergency and
Out front, and there's a sign out there for the designated area. We can exit this door right here at the front rack. Okay, if something like that comes up.
so you walk in the right,
Right time.
Tracy, introduce yourself.
Tracy Taylor, Charlotte Water Damage Investigation. And I'm gonna sit back here, so if anybody needs to leave,
And
we're
for the
right
new
there.
ones, I'm not predicted to work. Here in Charlotte.
Right, okay. And I think I'll pick up off there.
Online, thank y'all for being here. I don't think we can read that.
Are you asking for online? You're a little in and out sound wise. It's breaking up. And this is Mark Worth, Dominion Energy.
Today.
They can't hear.
We get a good minute and then we drop out for 15 seconds or so. It's on and off. When it goes out, it goes completely out. Not fuzzy, but completely out.
I hear you, Mark, loud and clear.
You online?
Yeah, I'm online.
Yeah.
I've lost them. I don't hear anything because I heard a lot
Right.
of background. Guys,
I
can you
tell
hear
you-
us?
When the guy spoke from there, talking about escorting people around, he came in clear the entire time.
The field ops guy, yeah.
Tammy looks perplexed, so she must be able to hear us talk.
Hey, Tammy. I'm gonna mute my Spotify here. I just walked in my office. I'm gonna switch it over to the computer.
On the technical.
Okay, folks online, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yes,
Okay,
dear.
good. All right, let's try this then.
A lot of it
I'm
is-
playing with buttons, so here's hoping it works.
You ready?
Sort of, yeah.
I'm sitting there and do your pages. for you.
Now, I'm as ready as I'm gonna be, actually. Does that mean you want me to go ahead?
Yeah, I was going.
Okay,
What
Well-
I gotta do to.
so you'll just have to move each one of them forward. So
I got
one
you. See
here
it.
and then one there.
Holy delete.
I know, right? It's kind of crazy.
Mm.
Good morning. I do see some faces I haven't seen for a while. I'm glad to see y'all this morning. I know most everybody, but Tammy Groves with North Carolina 811. It is good to see semi-smiling faces this morning and some smiles. You don't need to know it's September. Really, it's the end of September. We're almost into October. I'm kind of glad to see it. Yes, I'm glad to see the weather cool off. I'm very happy to see the leaves and all that stuff. But y'all, I love Halloween. Come to my house. I give out the good candy. I'm not cheaping out, man. I'm going to get the full size stuff and the real stuff. Had a little girl one time, I lived in a house that was up on a hill, and by the time she got to the top of that hill, got to the door, she said, that's a long way up there, and I said, yes, ma'am. And when you work that hard, you're gonna get good candy, and I turned that bowl out, and boy, that smile went from there to there, so you're gonna work for it, I'm gonna give you good stuff. Now, right now, I'm living in an apartment, so you can take the elevator. Now it's the minis. You're not working quite that hard, but it's still the good stuff. At Roger switching us over there, I want to just throw a little bit of information out, something that you can keep in your back pocket for next year. The joint North Carolina, South Carolina UCC conference next year will be held April 30th through May 3rd. That's going to be in Charleston, South Carolina. So start putting your pennies, nickels, and dimes in that travel account. Fantastic conference. I know there are a number of people in here who have attended one of those joint conferences or maybe more than one. You're going to get out, you're going to talk to other folks in the industry, both around North Carolina and South Carolina. There will be vendors. There are lots of informative sessions, and I'm going to ask very, very briefly, Lindsay and Tim, if they want to throw anything out about past UCC. I know this year it was held at Cherokee, at Harris, vendors, attendees, folks, again, North and South Carolina, some informative information sessions. I don't know what to call them, workshops maybe. One that I know of for sure was Homeland Security came out and talked about grid safety. It's important. You know, we kind of, yeah, we're taking care of this, but that's one of those things that you don't want to get caught with your shoes on the wrong feet. How's that? Anything you want to throw out, Lindsay?
I would just encourage you to either attend the conference or also attend one of the state UCC meetings next year. We'll be bouncing around the state to hopefully capture people in every part of the state. And we will be holding one here in Charlotte next year, so I'm excited for that. It's a great resource to, at a broader spectrum, get involved with the UCC. We do have attendance from companies who work throughout the state and South Carolina sometimes that come. So just kind of expanding what we do here locally on more of a state level.
Anything for other, sir?
As far as the 2025 conference, we've been throwing around some ideas about maybe a different location. I believe we've been to Cherokee the last couple times we've had the conference for Carolina, but definitely throwing out some different ideas there, maybe down towards the coast or that kind of thing. So we've been in discussion about that.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. I know everybody likes it. Now, we're here, we want to go to the beach or to the mountains. Folks at the beach want to go to the mountains. Folks at the mountains want to go to the beach. So we've got the best of both worlds either way. We're right in the middle. Anybody else want to throw anything else out that's been to a conference? I know I went several years ago. We were in Myrtle Beach. It was South Carolina's year to host it. It was just a really good, informative to sit in and listen to some of those workshops. Anything else? I don't want to leave anybody out. All right, we'll move on, sir. You folks know the school's already back. You've been fighting traffic, watching those school buses. Are back. The older ones are back. I would ask you to give some grace to those teenage drivers that maybe are headed out to school driving for the first time, got the windows down and the music turned up. They think they're cool. We were all there at one time, except for me. I ain't still cool. Right. The little ones, you know, the little ones, they're not sure when to go across the road, sometimes when not to go across the road. And honestly, drivers aren't sure either. A 2-lane, 4-lane, that arm comes out. Do I stop? I'm 6 lanes over. What's the protocol? Please go out to ncdot.gov and search for school bus safety. And if you have any questions about how you should stop or how you should drive around those buses, please go out and check that out. Folks, this one really does mean a lot to me. I had a 10-year-old niece who was killed at a bus stop. 10 years old. She'd be 23 now. So please be careful. All right, thank you, sir. Man, Roger's all right. I need to hire him.
You can't afford me.
811 Data, you want to pop up the next one, sir? This one will talk about locate requests, transmissions, county ticket volume, and ticket distribution. Locate requests for the state for the month of August were up 3.3%. 247,083 locate requests. That's up 3.3% over August of 2022. Next one, please, sir. Tickets for the year are up 6.3%. Locate requests January 1 through the end of August, 1,788,620, a 6.3% increase. And I always go back and say, folks, 9 years ago, 9 very short years ago, we were at 1.2 million locate requests for the year. We passed that in June. If you wonder why you're so busy, that's part of why you are so busy. That number obviously is going to change very, very shortly, but 6.3% increase for the year. If you want to hit the next one, kind sir. Transmissions are up as well for the month of, you can hit the next one too, Roger. Transmissions are up 1.8% for the month of August. Transmissions for the month of August were 1.2 million. Transmissions are up for the year 5.3%. And let's talk about what a transmission is. For every single locate request that comes in, there are 5.4 utilities statistically notified. Okay, so if I'm putting in a mailbox at my house, in that area where that mailbox is, there might be water, sewer, gas, fiber, and electric. So there are 5 utilities that are going to get notified about that one locate request. It says to me, probably need to move my mailbox. Transmissions year to date, 9,567,649. That means utility operators have been notified of excavations 9.5 million times. And that's just through the end of August. Ticket volume for the month of August for Mecklenburg County. New tickets, that middle column, 17,523. Believe it or not, a little bit of a decrease, 8.7%. That far right column, total tickets for the month of August for Mecklenburg County, 30,464 locating requests for the month of August. Average locates per day, 1,325. Total tickets are down 13.2%. And I see retransmits down. I see updates down. Updates are down 15%. Retransmits and updates are part of that total ticket volume. You want to see that update number come down. If you're finished with your job, if that job's complete, you don't need to update those locate requests. Every time a locate request goes out, a utility pays for that. Every time. That's a lot of change. And if that work's complete, that utility operator is just throwing it out the window. All right, next one, please, sir. I know y'all heard me preach, but I've got a new floor I've got to try out, so I'm gonna do a little more preaching. Ticket volume for Mecklenburg County. Now, this is year to date, January 1 through August 31. New tickets actually down again a little bit, 5.6%. 132,921 new tickets. Total tickets. Again, that includes retransmit and updates. Total tickets for Mecklenburg County year to date, 244,463, a 3.3% decrease year to date. Ticket distribution. County ticket distribution. Mecklenburg County, of those 30,000 locate requests, nobody's ever surprised to hear that Charlotte has 24,406. That's where most of that work is happening, inside the city limits. Huntersville was the next one, 1838. Matthews at 1034. Just kind of give you an idea where the big stuff's happening. Again, nobody's ever surprised that the big amount of that is in Charlotte itself. Let's talk a little bit about damages. I'm trying to remember which way my slides are coming up.
You're right, it's just this operator.
Let's talk about damage events reported for the month of August. For the month of August, Mecklenburg County had 186 damaged events reported.
What's that straight across?
That would be Wake at number 1 at 223. I didn't blow that up just a little to show that or anything. No, seriously, you know, Mecklenburg and Wake go back and forth about where more damages are. And honestly, that's no surprise. That's where most of the work is happening in Raleigh and Charlotte. Coming in after that was Durham, Guilford, and Alamance, but they're down into double, not triple digits. Of those damage events, we've got a little bit of a graph here that will show you where you're seeing that spike. The green line is 2022, blue is 23. In 22, you can see that it kind of spiked up there in June and again in August. In 2023, you can see that it takes a pretty precipitous incline there in August. And what we hear is usually there are more damages during the month of August than any other time of the year. So this year definitely shows that to be the trend that is correct. Yes, sir. The top 10 ticket holders. And again, this is not a bad thing, y'all. This is just showing you who's calling in locate requests. The top 10 companies calling in locate requests for the month of August. It's not a bad thing. Nobody did anything wrong. Just showing who's calling in those requests. Utility lines construction, LKN Underground, AT&T, Mears, Ansco, Metro Tech, Pike Electric, BNC Construction, Pike Electric again, and Phoenix Fiber at 485. Utility lines 1,409, and I see them at every intersection, you know, doing pole change outs and working there. LKN Underground, I was in Hickory last week and they were on every list in Hickory that I was on. They were in Alexander County, Catawba County, and Lincoln County. Those folks are doing some work. You've seen that bunch of misfits a time or two. I just blew up my picture because I was having good hair. I left the rest of them small. I'm gonna keep that one. A copy, a PDF copy of this presentation, along with our both physical roster in this room and the online roster that I will add to it, will go out to the website, ncucc.org, for anyone who needs it. That way, if you need to pull numbers from that presentation, if you need information. And for that matter, if you need information from this presentation, ask me and I'll send it to you in a PDF copy. You can have it. I know there are times that folks use that for staffing. You know, we're trying to build up our personnel in this area. We're having this done, we're having that done. So that is used in other ways. That, kind sir, unless there are any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback for me on this portion, I'm going to sit down and give it back to Robbie.
Oh, my goodness.
Anybody have anything? Going once, sold. Literally, you only get one. It's yours.
Hey, it was just good to see, the negatives on your numbers for a change, whole lot of positives. Usually, as we say, if you don't know that you're busy, but numbers don't lie, show them you're busy. 1,300 per day, roughly. How many locators? For Mecklenburg County, not. For Mecklenburg County, that'd be about 185. Once they get it done, anybody can take its space. It don't work that way. It's not the amount, it's the size. Yeah, you're right. You know, and I was just looking at an article about, and this has been brought up in this committee. I think we need to have that discussion too about locate certification. Right up under it said, locate competency. Do we want them certified or do we want them competent? And what Jason and us do, as far as underground and all that, we have to have a competent person on the job site at all times. So for us thinking about that, you hate to say anybody can get certified, but are they competent? You know, you go online, take a class, get a printout of a certificate that you completed it, you can tell everybody you certified. But are you competent in what you just took? And I'm not picking on you, or you either, Brian. I'm just, when I read that, I thought, you know what, that's an excellent point there. We have talked about having the classes in community colleges and stuff like that certified. And I still think it's a great idea. It gives more education on the equipment, all of that. A lot of people can read stuff, but they can't comprehend it. So yeah, now we've got them certified, but they still ain't got a clue. Lights is on, but nobody's on. But I just thought that was an interesting article that was talking about that. It really strikes a good point. Something I handed Dan right there. I just got this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Underground infrastructure damage trending upward. The common ground alive reports. Look at here on this end of the table. We ain't picking on you. We don't pick on nobody. We have fun. But a lot of it, you know, y'all coming in, people's wanting fiber, they're wanting all this stuff, so y'all having to come in, that's an uprising. People like us to start digging, we hit it. You know, a lot of times, I feel like stuff's being hit that was just put in, that's not on anyone's maps yet, relocated. And now we're trying to figure out whose it is and where it goes and all of that. Then with that too, you have abandoned stuff that's out there. Locators come out, put one or two marks on the ground, you pothole it, you find one or two lines, you dig down, or you start excavating, next thing you know, you pull up a wall. You shut down, make your phone calls, facility owner comes out, that's an abandoned line, that line's no good. You done been down, what, 2 hours roughly, give or take? I got numbers to talk about that here in a little bit too. But I mean, I just thought that was an interesting article. I highlighted a couple things in it. From 2020 to 2022, Damages per construction spending rose 12.35%. Damages per 1,000 transmissions rose 9.34% between 2021 and 2022. Then it talks about the root cause. Number one root cause, no notification. They never called 811. So y'all can't get out there. Y'all can't get out there. Nobody can get out there to locate stuff. Charlotte Water can't get out there. Next thing you know, stuff's damaged. Because they wouldn't make, because everybody says a free phone call that ain't free. We all pay for it, but you know, everybody don't see it that way. Excavation root cause, prioritize tolerance zone safety, address contracts to provide adequate compensation for potholing, and provide excavators with access to map visual. Say that for a moment. Visualization. That's close. Look at it. Let me break that down. I don't think excavators should see y'all's maps. I don't agree to that. But the locators, yes. They read the North Carolina law, you're supposed to pothole. So why is it not being done? Time's money. I ain't got time to do it. We're just going, we hit it, we'll move on. Robert, that's happened with y'all a good bit too, hasn't it? I know Charlotte Water has dealt with it, you know. We all need to slow down just a little bit. It's not worth it. You get that gas line, who said don't run by it through and ignite on that machine? Or you nick that gas line, you don't know about it. Next thing you know, you see it on the news a good bit here lately, for some reason, somebody's house explodes. Gas has got up in there. You know, it's not worth it. I don't care what the contract's for. If you take somebody's life, that contract is no good anyway. What you thought you made is out the window, plus a whole lot more. And the other one says locator error root cause, enhanced facility maps to GIS grade, address contract structure to emphasize timelessness and accuracy, and increase efficiency through effective use of the 811 system. That's from the Common Ground Alliance. We've all reported to it. Everybody in this room reported to it, I'm sure. And that's what they come up with. What going on? You look at it now, it's just out on a job site yesterday for a job site meeting. Are there any engineers in here? Good, I can talk bad about it. On that computer, boy, that thing will go in there. Don't see no reason why it won't. Locators come out there, they locate everything, we pothole what we can, some stuff we can't. But you got, and now we'll pick on Robert, I done told him on this. There's a 4-inch and 8-inch gas line out there. And the firm can't understand why we can't put a bore pit in. Put a gas line right in the middle of the bore pit. Stuff we deal with. How about that too? Pick on this group right here. And that guy back there. These unlocated. Y'all go out and try to locate the gas line. You can't locate it. You send out the email, it's turned over. Use my company. We do a ticket for a month to do a bore. Shouldn't take us 3 weeks. We do it as a month. Y'all day one unlocatable, so it's turned over to Sam. What's the timeline there? Like you got 3 days for the ticket. I'm not picking on you, okay? Y'all understand that. 3 days for the ticket. You go out there, you spend, I don't know how long time. And time is money. Now some located. what's that time frame between unlocatable and same gift? I mean,
Few days. And we're probably running.
So we're weekend.
We're third day, they just called it in, and I think we'll take this one in real time. So, we're on the second or third day, the tickets in the system.
right,
The initial text can turn it over to tech two, who's gonna go verify that it's okay. Tech two attempts to verify, two separate days. Then we'll send an email out to the contractor, the B and G, and Sam. We'll take it from there. It's hard surface. We'll go straight to Piedmont.
so give or take 4 to 5 days.
Sam will call in tickets.
So there's 3.
They got their case clear.
So there's 3 days.
So where the break is might not be when the ticket was called in original. So they might have to work everything wasn't covered over the original ticket.
It's not, there's another ticket. See what I'm going. Yes. You get it, you do your 3-day ticket. Let's say 4 days, but you keep right out on that 3rd day unless you're going out there at midnight. How long before y'all can get out there to it? After,
Well, I mean, we have to wait for the 3-day locate period
Right.
of our tickets, All I will say is I will encourage anybody, you will receive an email from either Heather or I in the office with, if you're in the Mecklenburg County area, Bo's contact information. If you're up around Greensboro area, it will be Tim, his contact information. And, especially if you're under a rush with your job, and tell them, you need to get on the schedule. They do have a working schedule. But if you're under a super time crunch, please reach out to them. Generally, they'll do what they can do to get it done quicker. If they can, if now they get out there and for some reason it's under hard surface or in an area that we cannot, fix it, then it will get turned back over to Piedmont. And internally, they need to go out and do that repair.
all right. We're still talking roughly 5 days for St. Y'all keep going, all the center road, you have to turn it over to Piedmont. So Piedmont gets how long before?
To do it, Piedmont gets it go, let's go to work ordering, still can work, and they check, see if it's a. Need to work permit, they permit on the road, and that takes time. If not, then the process actually started, before it's gotten better. The work coordinator comes in, shoots in our area, people are, and then see if it will work, so they have to go get a little bit, they're shooting.
So the 3 days in.
So now, the other thing is that even though we may have that time limit, we hit that line. So I've got, Dual Pyro across the transmission line right now. And they might put in perfect with that. So if they hit that line, that's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be a lot more than that. So that's the safety. When you think about it, if you go out there and just try to locate yourself and hit something, that's gonna be a cost. Oh, yeah, it'll be worth more. Like you said, it was a piece of equipment, it was a life. Gas does, it calls to have police assistance, so it runs that trench line. Run that trench line, get some in sewer, so I can come in and flip a switch. So, think about it. So if you have an issue, call. You don't just go out there and try to do it yourself. Call me, and what I can do is I can reach out to Heath, reach out to Sam, guys, okay, hey, can you go in and so we can get that, or I can get something rushed. So you go out there and try to do it yourself. Or have people pop up and don't have locates in certain areas they want to drop for. And that's something that,
It goes back to that root cause, you want to not call in and call it something.
So we've got a system set up where we can have everybody there to try to work with you, but if you don't want to use that system, then you're gonna pay costs.
Like what you just said right there, work with you. And that goes to these committee meetings. You come to these committee meetings, you make these relationships, these contacts and everything else, and it makes it a lot easier to work. Unlock my number so I can call you.
But I just hang up.
I know. But what we've got there though, is now we're in almost 3 weeks on a 3-week project. So now we're having to update a ticket. Because we're not sure that you might get right out there and get it done, so we don't want that ticket to lapse, so we get the job done. Okay? And what I'm getting around to is eliminating some updated tickets if we can speed up the process. The other thing I'm getting to is the expense. And I'm gonna agree with you. We're gonna agree to disagree. But the expense on the contractor is now $20,000. That contractor did not have built in to that job. Because we got an unlocated, well, it's power, gas, whatever, fiber. But you see what I'm saying? Is any way you look at it, there's an expense all the way across the board, back to us doing an update ticket. Now he's paying for that ticket again, and you're paying for that ticket again. AT&T, all those paying for it, but ultimately, all of us sitting in here paying for it. That's something right.
Yeah, before you get too far away from it, as you were saying, there's a lot of people in these emails. Just reach out to people, like 3 hour notice in the ticket, whatever, again. Will not make that okay. You can stand on site, 3 hour notice every 3 hours for 3 days. That doesn't make the ticket look good.
But don't make it.
We're not gonna keep calling every 3 hours, we can't look.
A lot of that with the email thing, and people aren't getting.
Well,
So speaking on that, one thing that within the last month, we've started doing on our end is, Heather or I, since we're used to calling contractors anyway, we are now starting to call, not just email, but also call contractors about the unlocatables and see what their working time frame is.
I'm out of that safety.
And, relay that information to Boa Ray here in Mecklenburg County, and at least make sure that they have seen the email that it is unlocatable, because a lot of times they're not. You know, and that's because it's going to just some general inbox, that doesn't get checked all the time. The other thing I will say is that with all parties involved, this process, in my opinion, over the last 3 years of us being involved with this, has become streamlined much more than it was when we started this. Yes, it's still a lengthy process for contractors, but it has become more streamlined and efficient. There's always room for improvement, we know that, but it is a working, process that is getting better.
Well, that's what we're doing in these committees. Everything we do is a working process. We can't put we can't say, it's never gonna happen. But we're all working, like you were saying too, that email does go to a general email address. I don't know if you call it fortunate or unfortunate, besides by our companies, I get all of those too. So I do see them, and as soon as I see it, I call the superintendent, I go, hey, you got an unlocated, you got a priority line, 255. You know, you need to call them and everything. But it still goes back to, a lot of this stuff goes back to whoever sat in the office, doing the tickets, doing the updates. It goes to that email that they never looked at, never checked. If the crew gets out there, pull up that positive response, and they say, well, what is that? They didn't know about that. Yeah. You know, that's what happens. For somebody sitting here and say, well, if I check every one before I go out there. You know what I say about that? But that's just things that, you know, that has hit in the past couple of weeks. It seems like it's getting more and more. But it still goes back to what you were saying too, abandoned stuff, new stuff, you know. Can you tell if it's, or do y'all put that on there? Do y'all have abandoned lines?
Yeah, the maps, if they grayed out certain areas of the ship. Say,
So a different color than what the active line is. Okay. So y'all would be able to, I know y'all think AT&T, they can.
That's one thing you didn't really talk about that is, about spotting a line and waiting to get a confirmation it's abandoned. What if you spotted the abandoned line and didn't get the active line? Or maybe you dig farther down and get the active.
We had that happen down off of, South Tryon. One paint mark, got a pothole down, they found the gas line. Abandoned. New one was here, we exposed this one, we start digging to go under it, it gets good. You know, it's just catch-22 deal, really, because us as contractors don't know, is it abandoned, is it not? So we cut a line, we stop, we call and wait, somebody come out and say, well, that line's no good, which in a way you hate to say if you cut an abandoned gas line, it's not hard to tell it's abandoned because nothing really comes out of it. But y'all also have those, what do you call them? I call them emergency valves. You put on the main company for line company, what's it called? What you gonna say?
You don't need to touch it.
But what I'm getting at though is it'll shut the gas off.
Critical balance.
You still need to call, because it is a damage. That's what I'm getting at, Rob, not trying to put you on the stand or anything. But just because you cut it and you got a little squirt of gas and then it quit, doesn't mean that's an abandoned line.
It's a service and it does that as an EFT. So it's gonna shut it off so it won't blow.
Y'all are putting in safety precautions to eliminate gas from just free flow. So, I mean, we tell our people, it doesn't matter what kind of line it is, if you nick it, we're calling. CY, or I can't even say that in here, so CYB, cover your butt,
It's cover your assets.
assets, okay. Guess that's a good way to put that. I don't think of it like that. though.
Uh-huh. Still CYA.
That's. Was there any questions on that? I mean, did I go too far on my soapbox today? But again, it still goes back to, we all got to work together. As president of our. Oh, as a matter of fact, I did, it's the owner of the company. But if we didn't have these committees and doing everything that we're doing, things would be a lot worse than what they are. We would be hearing more about fatalities, people being injured, people losing property and everything. None of us wants to see that happen. None of us wants it to happen to any of our people. Going back to what you were saying, Robert, that is a big expense thing. You know, I was talking about it's costing us $20,000-$30,000 to wait on that. What if we do it? Especially that 4 or 8 inch gas line.
If those transmission lines up there on Batesford Road and you see.
What are you shutting down?
Shut down strong. Bypass something else around.
You know, you could go back, you could go as far as looking at it too as, I'm gonna use Burkeville area, just prime example, because there's a lot of restaurants and stuff up there. You hit that gas line and this restaurant depends on that gas to serve their food, but yet they can't cook it because you shut it down. Now you got the liquidated damages from that business also. Now that expense just, all it's doing is this right here. We ain't gonna talk about fiber and people, they're just a whole different group, but we're all trying to put all of our stuff in this area. Right of ways used to be 60 feet, 70 feet. Now they're getting down to 30, 25. But they want you to put a 36-inch line in there. You know, Google is in there, power's in there, gas is in there. Everybody's trying to get right there. And I know y'all are, and I'm asking this, I'm making an assumption here, y'all are going deeper. Yeah. So now that you go deeper, everybody else is gonna use that concept, and we need to go deeper. Now, if it was all here and here, we're all here and.
Sewer's been down there, so that's up mine.
Think I want that.
The sewer's been down there.
I can tell you right now, let's go downtown, we'll go to a 50-foot shaft at the sewer line. We'll go 50 foot now. Right? And it's not lit. We can walk through it. But, and I'm gonna say that's the Charlotte water thing is now the sewer's going deep. The water's going deep, trying to get around everybody. And you can also go downtown. I can show you where the gas line lays right on the water line. Everybody's trying to get right there. But ultimately, or at the end of the day, we've all got to work together to make this work. You know, we have been in them situations years ago where no one got along with nobody. Couldn't get along. These meetings had what, Tammy, 5 people in them?
Maybe.
Maybe. Same 5 people. But all you ever heard was, it's your fault. It's your fault. That's all you ever heard. And he's saying it's my fault. So we're arguing back and forth of whose fault it is when ultimately it ain't got nothing to do with either one of us. It's not on the maps. You can't locate it. If the contractor don't turn it over to the facility and we're a facility and we can't put it on the maps for you to do your job so we can do ours. It's a revolving door. The people that don't come to these meetings or state UCC meetings or anything like that, they don't have a clue. They don't understand. Where if they get to these, and it's not that hard. What, 10 people online that couldn't make it in person. I've been on the Wake County meetings. I just do that so I can pick on them back in numbers being higher than ours. The information's there. And you've got to be there to get it and to understand. That's one little soapbox there for today. Get off of that. Anyway, Dan, anything you want to say on the LRPC part?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know, like I said, with the updates and stuff, you know, if anybody's interested in coming and participating, please do. I mean,
There's new faces there.
yeah, especially on the excavation side of it, really like to get more participation from excavators into the LRPC to kind of get their feedback and see what we can do to help.
They are here in me.
No, yeah, other than that.
I try to represent everybody because I get the phone calls. Get Jason more involved too, that'd be another. You know, I reached out to other contractors that does what we do to get them in. And what I hear is, man, we're so busy. Well, God dang, all of us are. How many people's in here, Tammy?
29.
29, you got 10, plus 30, 40 people, we'll say. It ain't like 40 of us ain't got nothing else to do. We're all busy. You take a couple hours out. The way I look at it is make connections, work together, ultimately protect you people. That's what it comes down to. Anything else, buddy? On about updates though, you know, as we always say, I go back to Sam Gonzalez, we need to clean our own house, go through your tickets and look, take out what you don't need. That field creek could have been done a month ago, but they didn't relay it to the office. Jason, you got anything from the Newport?
Same as last month, pretty much, but tonight we have a young leaders conference committee thing at Piedmont Town Boulevard from 6 to 8. We've got young folks, or if you just want to join us, feel free to show up. It's gonna be a pretty good time. Our young leader group for NUCA has done an extraordinary job. They've been recognized by the national NUCA, committees, and they're gonna be speaking on Naples, Florida, this year, so. And they've only been in business for just over a year, so they've made leaps and bounds. The organization and the structure of that young leaders group is pretty phenomenal.
What's that age group?
40 or younger at heart. That's what they said.
Folks, that's at Piedmont Social House at Ayersley, if you're interested. And you said 6 to 8, Jason?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's a nice spot. They've got some good snacks, some good drinks, lots of fun stuff out there, cornhole, music, ping pong. They even have a bowling alley in there.
Coming up, welcome to 14th to Grove Park in Asheville, October. Yes. Our next safety and risk management committee meeting is going to be November 14th at James River Equipment, Raleigh. And that lunch will be sponsored by Jeff Wilkinson. So even if you're in the area or want to swing by and get lunch, listen to some safety folks, come on out for that. And again, back to the young leaders looking out into the future, they are trying to plan a young leaders conference in Wrightsville Beach in March. So that's kind of on the radar right now. There aren't all kinds of details there, but they are planning that. That's gonna be about it for us.
I guess one thing I'd like to see, just you talking about it, key to this, the next safety and risk management meeting that's in this area, we need to get some of the locators in there, Piedmont do stuff like that. I think it'd be good to put you, I hate to say put you in front of these people, but where they can see. Oh, and the ones that's not involved with the UCC, maybe it help them understand a little bit. I can tell you at our conference in a couple of weeks, Lewis is doing one of the sessions, and Misty Wise of South Carolina's doing one of the sessions. They're great sessions between the two, but they talk about one stuff. How Lewis does get into the damages and the locates. You know, that's one good thing with him. Nothing against Misty. Y'all please don't take that the wrong way. She does a heck of a job. Lewis almost speaks to it from contractors. So that information is shared, but getting facility owners and locators there so they can put eyes on it, I think would help. You know, so that put the full circle part of it.
Well, I think absolutely, and certain state utilities not perfect, but a lot of them, we're getting so many new folks in our safety committee. They're the smaller contractors that are either just getting started or haven't heard the message, or they're not involved in these groups, and they don't, they can't take it back to their folks. But yeah, it's an opportunity to speak to their safety committee people or whoever the safety person is, so that they can take that back to their company and help spread that word, and maybe help some of this, this thing just keep going, throughout the whole industry. I think we've had 40 new members probably this year. So it's a lot. So I've signed a lot of checks. I know that.
But yeah, like I said, it's like any committee. You want to get more people involved, so there's more understanding. I don't mind telling you, OSHA will tell you that a lot of their biggest violators is companies that's not affiliated with any kind of committee or association. That's their biggest offenders. So again, we reach out, get people in and help educate. Anybody with any other committee, something that I'm missing? You want to talk about sharp damages or anything. Right now, Lindsay to her hand.
Does Tammy have anything to share about their new trailer? It's pretty cool, and Anna talked about it at the state CDC.
Please, if you know, please, because I'm kind of out of the loop on that. I know that they're planning to have it wrapped with some new stuff. It had some of New York's information on it. I do not know if it's been wrapped yet. You may be privy to something I don't know yet.
The way it's supposed to go, but they'll be traveling around the state with it to different events, and the floor is a clear floor to show what underground lines look like. They're gonna be able to do kind of damage simulations on a small scale to show what happens with that, and then education about NC 811 and calling in tickets and things like that.
Don't put us on the list to have it at one of our UCC meetings, and that's what the meeting will be, a buy-sell trailer. What y'all thought?
That would be awesome. Get everybody an opportunity.
As soon as it comes out, we need to be first so we can go way go.
I tell you what, everybody's saying, we want to be first on the list.
I'll see Lewis in a couple of weeks. So
You'll work the magic.
I'm gonna tell him Mecklenburg needs to be first with his trailer. That way we can say we are number one.
We will have that, and, we still have the Mini X, getting requests every day from people to have that Mini X at events, and we're down 2 people right now. It was on some medical leave. We're getting old, and I don't want to talk about it. Why do you think I'm sitting in this chair? We are talking about possibly hiring someone part-time to handle that Mini X, to take it to events, which would probably be an excellent idea.
It's ain't gonna come out what I need for it too, but it'd make it easier on y'all.
Well, no, that's really, because, there's a lot, and those of you that, have a truck or trailer, you understand you've got to safely get it from point A to point B. It's got to be stored properly. And then if you need it, that Mini X has traveled from here to Tennessee and back repeatedly. So it's used all over the state. And when sir? Brian went to Virginia. Tyler's back and forth. Yep. Tyler lives up near Asheville and drove it to Greensboro the other day so it can be picked up from Greensboro to go down to Greenville and beyond. So yeah, that little trailer's on the road. And when you're ready, there's a couple folks online that have things. I just told them when it was time, they'd be ready.
Is any of them pressed for time?
I
If they are,
don't see anything that says that they're pressed for time, folks. If anyone online is pressed for time, let me know. And
why don't we go ahead and discuss what it is before we get into damages and everything?
okay, well, we can do that. Actually, it was damages, so it was damage information.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, who's on there and who's ready?
well, okay, folks, who's here and who's ready? Mark, do you have anything from Dominion Energy that you would like to share this morning?
Again, we're just in the north end of Mecklenburg County. A lot of my numbers I have are Mecklenburg and Iredell counties. Our tickets this year are up 12% from last year, and our damages are down about 50%.
Wow.
We've gone from 8 damages to 15 damages to 8 damages. 3 of those have been, and this is just August. I didn't do year-to-date numbers. 3 of those were operator at fault damages. In September, the numbers are same so far, so I expect September will be up a little bit. But and For those of you that haven't heard, the North Carolina Dominion operations are being sold to Enbridge, which is a Canadian company. So about a year from now, you'll see a different name for us again.
Mark, out of them damages, was any of those unlocatable lines? And I'm looking at Robert Neely while I'm saying this.
Yeah. You're talking about difficult to locate lines because one of us can find it.
We appreciate that, Mark.
Yeah.
Jim Collins, do you have anything you'd like to share? I'm just going straight across the row, folks.
Hi, Tammy. Sorry, I'm actually driving in a car, so hopefully Rania and Robert are there. They may have some information to share.
They will take care of it, I am sure. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
know that Joel had some stuff for us too. I'm glad you're sticking around there and able to listen. Joel, did you want to share anything?
Sure. It's kind of a mix of good news, bad news. But I'll just stick with the good news. The comparison between August and July, July actually had more damages than August. And I think that's a pretty significant report because normally, as we heard, damages usually go up in August, and the damages, it's not significant drop, but it went from 65 damages of gas facilities last month to 60 damages this month. With that, to make a special note on things, the top 3 root cause damages are down 17% from last month. It's the same 3 in different order, but the total of those top 3 root cause damages is down 17%. And that's pretty significant. And we really appreciate that. So that means people are calling in their tickets properly. They're getting located. And if they're not locatable, they're getting fixed and then getting located. And the contractors that are involved with the gas, facilities are doing their job safely as well. The total, our DPT compared to the last 2 years, we'll go back to 21. It was 2.30 for the year. 22 was 2.17. There's a trend there. And then so far this year, it's 2.0. So really, things are trending in a good way. And again, I'm going to attribute that to the cooperation between SAM, the locators, whatever companies, and also TRC, which is also in the state. So all of these programs, Watch and Protect, the unlocatable repairs, and the different contractors work in cooperation with each other. We want to just say kudos. Good job.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I thought that was in my head. They're echoing for
Thank
a
you,
minute.
Joel.
Carl,
welcome, Jim.
you're next in line. Do you have anything?
Hey, Tammy, good morning, folks. No, I don't have anything. Just tell Roger I said, hey.
I'm right here, Carl. I had to be right here at the speaker so I can hear. It just sort of throws me. We had a Charlotte water facility and you're not here.
Somebody's got to keep the water going. I'm over here at the at the water factory.
I'll give that one to you.
At the water factory. I like that.
Thanks, man.
Good morning, Bruce. Do you have anything you'd like to share with the group this morning?
No, ma'am. Just good to be here.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Is that everybody?
That's everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were a couple folks who dropped off.
Okay. We appreciate that.
Hi, Dan. Well, we had 49 last month. We just kind of just working on everything, water, fences, construction.
It's all cost.
No, that we received. Oh, we don't call on these damages. We were recipients. So
So don't throw that flag on that one.
no. Okay.
That's still not bad though, 49 out of 30,000 tickets or so.
Not as, I didn't track what the fault was, so I don't think they were. With that fault. All do contractors really give about waiting until there's paint down. They don't dig unless there's paint.
I think that message is getting out there a lot better. They can't say they don't see billboards and like a lot of y'all's contractors, ULC, how you say that, USCS, and they can all even have the 811 things on their truck. So, you know, can't say you don't know.
Yeah, I think some of them are starting to get into the gold shovel thing too. But
Sounds like I was sort of kind of helping you there.
Yes.
And one of them made the comments, what made me think about that. The description that people are putting in their tickets to be located, is that getting better? Is it a little more accurate?
you have your outliers. You still got your folks that want to call in both sides of the road, all four corners, we put in a stop sign, but
You know, I'm looking right there.
yeah, they're working in a one by one space, but you know, they don't understand that it's a domino effect. What it does is it takes a technician and puts him on a intersection for sometimes, especially the newer they are, less experienced. They won't call a contractor because they're nervous they're going to get told, just mark it, or they're going to get yelled at or something because they're young guys, and they'll get out there and they'll just mark the entire thing, all four corners. It'll take them 2 hours to do it. Well, that just knocked what should have been a 5-10 minute ticket into 2 hours, and it changed down the road. It's this domino-esque effect that just keeps going and going. A lot of folks don't understand that you put somebody out there and you tell them, 1,500 feet, or a quarter of a mile, all four directions at an intersection. That ends up being almost 2 miles worth of locating at a four-way intersection, or both sides of the road, half mile on both sides. It's a mile worth of locating both sides. And then the guy's got to walk back and forth. He's got to document what he's done. And like you said earlier, being competent is much more compelling than being, passing a certification. Anybody can, I've heard about people not going one day in college and passing the bar, which that's hard to believe, but it's stuff like that. Certification does not make a good locator. Competency takes a while to build. And we've extended our training program where now it's not only 3 weeks to get certified. There's a 3-week follow-up where they're with an experienced tech. And that experienced tech is, they usually have 1 in 5-10 years experience. So they go another 3 weeks with that tech, and then they're not put to an area for another 3 weeks. So it's a total of 9 weeks. That's just to start off with. It usually takes, honestly, a year before a technician's proficient. And even then, honestly, a year is not enough for some. It took me a couple of years to be proficient. I'm a little slower than others, so it takes me a while. And I know that some folks are the same way. They need more hands-on experience. It just takes time.
You got the ones that's book smart and can do it, but they can't do it in the field. Then you got the ones that can do it in the field, but don't understand what it's saying in the book. Exactly. So down here, you go. Y'all got a lot. Either starting, going, or coming to this area. All for all. What areas, how much, if you can.
Sure, we can,
Yeah.
in Charlotte, say like our neighborhood builds, we call A, right, the neighborhoods. Primary deployment is gonna shift mainly from Danville across the soft skating shallow done, so it's into the soft skating and the beach trail, or say behind the curb seals. It's easy for you to do. But we will be shifting a lot of data up in the Huntersville. Okay, over the coming months, probably throughout the next 2 years. Also that work.
And what depth are y'all going?
In the neighborhoods, when we do SSD deployment, we're about 10 to 12 inches.
Okay.
Generally our so it's just really good for fiber for fibers, those are getting materials. But it's all minus any special processing that we would have pipelines, things like that.
So mainly right now, what area within your still
Facility, be doing soundscaping element. Also, mainly our highest concentration of business right now is just now. Although there will be tours and other boundaries, South Charlotte, North Charlotte. So.
Any questions for the Google group? Hi, Brian. I'm sorry.
I tell you, Sarah, I love, like you talked about last month, we put a lot of new text in field. We put a lot of resources into training people from the company. You know, keep this follow up, contractors, if you have issues with their own service. It is important for you to reach out to us. You identify any problems in the field, we want to. That's what we're doing. You hear a little bit, I think we had to be navigating for central. For travel network for last month. And 9. For others. Six of those were related to fiber work. Technician is just in. It's not just Google, it'll be AT&T and everyone else, but fibers if you will.
We smoke up on one of your guys out in the field doing working and had some t-shirts in my car and pulled up and he was he's like, yeah, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You know, somebody pulls up on you, particularly in that car with that big old safety thing head on the side, but it was nice. He was happy to see you. And I think I had seen him in one of your classes before, so it was good to see him out in the field.
Our driver from your pulled up on him.
Probably. Saw a couple of your guys yesterday. You owed his lunch.
I didn't tell him about it.
Not too late.
We had 3 that were missed mark, 1 we let off. I'll never remember bringing it.
It's often like that. A lot of people don't realize how tight of a window you have for a personal for you not.
Nothing like for people's sites, the gas utilities, when it's plastic, concentration. Depending on where that trace is in relationship to the pipe, it could be a solvent. Usually it's not strapped to it, so.
You know, now I'll go ahead and throw this out there. We've had just in the past week, 3 days, our fault. What they're doing is y'all are doing y'all's job right. Putting that paint mark on the ground, where's our people digging there? Right on the freaking paint line. And we're cutting these lines. So I had a discussion with superintendents that I learned almost 24 inches on each side. Why are we not starting out there working our way in? Yeah, we're guilty.
Things are turning in a good direction over. Keep pushing.
It's, I'll say it's getting better on both sides. That's why I'm saying right. And I think you're saying 9 weeks before they're really turned loose to be dangerous. Somebody don't pick it up 9 weeks. Yeah, there's a problem. And that's an easy, that's with our people too. You can tell in a week or 2 if they're gonna make it.
Oh, that's great. You can never first year too.
Far as damages, yes, and now I'm talking to safety, it's not me.
Yeah, well, none that I know of. We have a couple ongoing issues, that we're dealing with from past, past damages, but, I don't think we did anything recently, so, doing all right, but, I, just for everybody, when I go back and I talk to our folks and stuff, we do take the information from here and pass it on to our superintendents and, it just doesn't die in this region. That, so I appreciate everybody's time.
Tim? I think more.
As far as damages, nothing really to bring up or anything like that. I mean, it does seem like this time of year, the ground got a little hard since our last few weeks or whatever, and, so you have seen some shovel damage up there, that kind of thing, but, nothing really to bring up.
Like I said, in one of ours, it's got all this roof.
Yep. Right, that,
Roofs are usually what, a tan color and all that. This is a light.
like, oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you got any time?
Actually, I don't, damage that, caught me on that. I've had this before, we had a gas relocation. And the inspector called me and said, we got this relocated. I said, yeah, send him the email that I had received that we had it relocated. And they actually came out, relocated down below, it's tied back in, they never terminated the first line. So we got a man in the hole, cut steel pipe with salt and still full of gas. Yep.
Something. Usually nobody got free cow, so. I mean, I can just tell you, we don't cut up the gas line that way we call it. They're gonna assess the band we get into the blue.
Yep.
That way,
Although we've since changed that practice, but yeah.
we had a power line issues a few years ago, conflict. One of their subs comes out there and pulls it up. Oh, yes, a band, you go ahead and cut it. No, right. That's on you. He cut the line. He was telling us to cut.
Yep. I had that happen. So,
Yeah, we don't remove, well, AT&T, we wearing them out right now, as we're showing. But yeah, when it comes to gas or power, no, that's their department.
She's doing double duty. That's it.
Is that what you say?
What? What's your question?
No, he did it. No, Ford did. Said you would use that for tool and stuff. You got anything that for a walk up? Sorry. Welcome. Understanding, I would say entertaining, but I'm using for informative. You got anything you want to add to the group, question in the group?
My main question is, for if my group, emergencies that come in and get back, and have issues with the location. Actually, help facilitate getting located out of the map. A lot of times we got, big main, water main breaks or sewer main breaks and waiting until 7 o'clock in the next morning for somebody to show up. It's not a lot of times, not.
I know the answer to that, but I'm gonna let the locators answer that. Sean, you want to go, then I'll call on Brian. Or you need us all three, usually that's the site.
I know they're all just Dawn's work, yes, here's Dawn, he goes between me, Casey, and Dan, and one of them she will respond with a few minutes from. If it's not happening, I give you one, you take some quick.
Okay, you come to this meeting, now you got a contact, direct contact. Brian?
Similar to George, my number, both guys we just log in, but, he's the same, but I'm just gather, so you have his contact. If it's something recent in the last week or so, we're just some 811 transfer issues, PNG is gone, it's a ticket management system, called Earth. Now, entry of 117 tickets directly to Earth, PNG, and they send them to prepare the transmissions, we've had some issues. Not receiving them correctly, so you have people take it offline and sign up. So we're trying to monitor this on time.
It's another 20 for this one. It's okay. We don't do those slides and forward.
That's all I have that call.
I hope that's ill. Okay. So that's what this is all about. You got an issue, we. Use that word in here. Itching about it. Working it out. That's not. And
Oh, mine is I usually draw, like I said, I was gonna say, you know, with so many higher ups being in here, whether you're doing the work yourself or if you're dealing with contractors, please inform them about these code 55s. Because when my locators close the ticket with a code 55, it's gonna send me an automatic email response, the same one that you're gonna receive. I know the first name on there to contact. Just this week alone, we've had a couple where we pulled up on the crew and we've heard, we're gonna spot it. They're already on tap or something already. This one in particular was a 24-inch PCC water main and it was bad. So if you get it with the 55, we're hearing a lot of, oh, I didn't know about that. No one told me. So whoever the email contact is, the contact you put on this ticket, please make sure that the crews that are actually out there doing work, they understand what that facility is going for. And like I said, we're not trying to slow you guys work down. We're all busy. We're all trying to do work. We can get some kind of communication on that. And between George and myself, if you call us, we got a locator, we have them working all over the city. We get them out there going within the next 15 to 20 minutes to go ahead and verify that you did and you spotted. Get our pictures and we're out there going back to work. So can't deal with, I didn't know, I've been doing this for years, no one ever told me. I get the call, I'll be out here. So this is work together. And I think when that code 55 is there for a reason. We're not trying to do it, still down the work, we're trying to protect the facilities that are all in the right. For us, we'll put a code 55 on, put that 16 inches of water. We have 4 sewer mains that are in it, every sewer main is there, that's what we put that code 55 on. And so I'll repeat it again, the way we do it is, depending on the scope of that ticket you called in, where you're working at may not actually be where anything with our water is, but we're marking it off the scope of the ticket that was called in. Now, if there's questions, like I said, we'll send the tech out there. Only what we say is, if you're crossing that water main, it must be, or that porcelain main or whatever, it has to be spotted before you cross it. If you're working parallel to it and inside of 10 feet of that new mark, it must be spotted at 50 feet. There are a lot of times when we come out there, send a tech or join myself, and we cleared you, like, okay, you're not even working there, you don't have a spot, nothing. So like I said, we do our best and it's a immediate response to call us. So do our best to get you right back to work, but those mains and whatnot have to be spotted.
Bring some field crews, I can understand it's really not. Always have to say the ones like you say, yeah. That response knows. The general email address, if they don't have access to. But now we move against that field crew. Amy, how much is that out?
The North Carolina 811 free app,
Yeah.
I believe it's $3.99.
So they got to do is pull that up and look at positive response. If they're not sure of the ticket number, they can look at the near ticket, get their ticket right there and then check positive response. So I agree and disagree. Back here behind your nose, it must be important.
Yeah, I'm gonna do damages, 44 total for August, 34 water, 10 sewer, and I can, more prepared because you had questions last time. So 6 of them were due to no locally called in or no positively informed yet. 7 were mismarked. 5 were accurately marked. And the rest are under investigation. Aside from, there were 5 or 3 found in our sewer. And I think one thing I want to say about that was just, please don't leave lines in the sewer. It's really hazardous, you know, I know who's out there boring. You gotta kind of feel it in some way when you go through the sewer and, just please call in a damage ticket. Please don't keep excavating because the sewer will just keep leaking in the ground. Yeah, and it will back up and it'll cause a spill and it can cause a sinkhole as well. So just please don't leave the line.
Any questions for Charlotte Water? Just for the accurate, that time, we put it first.
I'll bring it back.
Thanks, first meeting. How to be honest on that. All my cholesterol and all of that. Here back. What's good and everything good? You got anything to add?
No, sir. It may sound. Yeah.
I think I'm talking already, my questions for some of the, I did have a question. I don't think anybody to energy review.
I don't know either.
And so, and I don't know if this is really relevant. Especially like you asked to sometimes when we have emergency water main breaks, when you hold something there like that, we have issues with water that. So, we are looking for a point of contact for those specific types of emergencies.
There's not gonna be like any one particular one, and it's like, do that 800 number, they can dispatch somebody. Yeah, if I give you somebody today, but it's not gonna be the guy tomorrow, you know what I mean? So,
That's an issue across the board. It's not just for you, because we've had issues where we've had to lay by them and have to go through a process and get them healed and all of that. So I feel you pain. Understand over here too, that's not a truck, it's just on standby or a call or something like that.
Y'all have a standby truck. Somebody that has to fix things.
they just like the on call, so yeah, do not to.
Most of the trucks don't have the clamps.
No, yeah, not all of them. So they'll be able to get somebody. It's a matter of getting scheduled and. Not as easy as just, call, because they get, engineering, you have to get involved in how deep, how tall the phone, what's on the phone. You want to use, who else is on the phone, I mean, it's just.
That's the process we've been following so far to do that.
We all feel in pain on that. Again, we understand too, because used to about every truck had to come on the. Now, they've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, if your first responders, like you said, for like an emergency, he was gonna be probably the greater ticket for it.
They don't get that. Yep, that's a problem. I mean, that's the reason laying out there for a cut line, because if you don't even get this screw. Not getting. Hey, how you? Good. So that means you talk. But one thing, I go to, I was at John Wayne yesterday. I looked up at the 1325 locate tickets a day. This guy has 74 locate tickets in a day. Awesome. One thing we had done down there was, the private locates. They found out, I think it's. He mentioned
your company's down there, that's what we're doing. Paying them, you know, to take care of the locals. Going for in that area. You know, take him up front, but one thing he was looking at was the band that's located, that company's wanting now, if it's still it's all a process, it's all something going on every time. But, you know, it's just the same thing. All across what's going on. Oh, yeah, it's not just Mecklenburg or Lee, or it's the whole state. That's down Jones. Jones owns a lot of the other Lee. So what have you thought so far?
Hey, I've enjoyed it, learned a lot. I'm new to the area, moved here 4 months ago. Our company is an engineering consulting company. I think we're actually competitors here. Yeah. He was nice enough to take my call. I think he called me back yesterday about getting here. And I did. He did.
Oh,
And I actually was at your guy's office. Yeah, yesterday. I dropped some donuts off, but they wouldn't tell me who they would give them to, or who I could follow up with.
I promise you, I didn't get one of those.
If it was donuts and you were anywhere around, I knew the answer to that question.
Yesterday, if you would know. Oh, I was meeting locates, not locates,
One of our surface lines is surface utility engineering. We have a little program. I can't talk much about it because we're about it.
be sure it's not any sick. Yeah, but you didn't raise your hand if I asked you as an engineer.
I'm not an engineer.
Oh,
You just. This would be here, yes.
A whole different way.
So I work for this same industry in Florida for Universal Engineering Sciences, UES, which actually bought Summit. We merged and then we changed our name. So, but there's a couple summits, by the way. We're Summit Engineering or companies, not Summit Design and Construction, which is also yeah. We do environmental stuff. I'm gonna give you my card code, so then I'll get you some donuts. So
Make sure Miss Tammy gets your card too, that way she can put your email address on the inbox.
gotcha. Yes, I can't remember somebody who I had coffee with or lunch with told me about this. Said I should see what's going on. I learned a lot about the activity, and so I got stuff to share.
I'm sure folks who you had said, not talking about Miss Ronnie, but this and over here and this and right here.
No, it's been a lot.
Better company to sit.
I need to sit up front further because at my age, I don't hear too well anymore. So half of what you guys said when they were facing that other way, I didn't hear anything. So heard you though.
I don't hear it. No.
He's pretty entertaining.
We're trying to make it fun,
but utility lines.
well, you gotta be serious all the time. People want to tune you out. So we have to keep it animated. I mean, look, we got gestures right here.
This gets pretty solid. Been working really for
Many years.
I'm looking forward to that peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. It's good to see you in person. Hey, buddy, so Tracy, you got anything to add? Me too. You got anything to add?
I don't know if anybody said, but the Co-55, we've sent those a lot. Daniel's come.
Yeah, I don't think about it.
Cool. That's the main thing. If you reach out to me, like you said, let's work together. If you don't have my number, I can give you.
I'm trying to point them, you say you think about
Yeah, Daniel, myself, you can contact either one of us.
Because of that,
Pretty thorough.
Okay, good. That's all I have.
Thank you. All right. Anybody have anything else?
Jim, Mark, Carl, or Bruce, do you have anything, any project information or anything else you'd like to share with the group? We've kind of gone through information here, damages. Brett Kilgo with the city's not here. He usually has a good bit of information about upcoming road construction, but do you folks have anything else you'd like to share today?
I sure
Not sure
don't.
David Talbert's there. But he
David is here.
Okay, did he mention the Atlas stuff? Might have missed that.
He sure did. As a matter of fact, discussed Project Atlas. He's
Okay,
he's in the back of the room. You might not have been able to hear him that well.
Okay, sorry, David.
Anybody else?
Jim, Mark, or Carl, anything else you'd like to share?
I don't have anything, Tammy.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
well, Tammy, the only thing I would like to throw out there just for everybody to know, we've mentioned it before, but it's about the lead and copper rule that's come down from the federal government, and we're having to make sure we have an inventory of all of the service lines for each property that goes into their houses. Each private service line, water service line, the material that it is. So just so in other words, y'all may see more locate requests for, you know, for individual properties as we work our way through figuring out our inventory. That's all.
Thank you, Carl. I forgot about that till you just said that.
No worries, Roger. We've done some test areas, and we can do some kind of analysis, if you will, based on the year of the home. But we're gonna have to do more potholing and things like that. So just more so, just a heads up for coordination. That's all.
Yeah, I know y'all got us doing some of it over in front of the Vest plant. Over on Booker Street and everything.
Yep. Yes, sir. Thanks. Yep. Thanks for
you,
that.
Carl.
No worries. Thank you, Tim.
And I should have asked you, I didn't think about it. Anything from the
Yeah.
North Carolina 811 board perspective, I forgot about that.
No, you're good, Tammy. We haven't met since the last one. And we do have that board meeting coming up, but other than that, I don't have anything to share from the board
Great,
perspective.
thank you.
Thank you.
Dan, anything you want to throw out from South Carolina? I didn't think about that till just now.
Not the moment.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
As far as the locator, y'all hear what Carl was saying? I'm gonna see some more tickets come across from them because what they're having to do. It'll all come down, they need to know what lines is going in the houses now, if they're lead, they're having to change them out. All that, so probably start seeing a few more tickets. Tickets should just be for right around the meter box, but
We're probably ready to go on working here at houses.
I didn't want to mark
I don't know, that is to see more from Duke Energy to Steve, but I also see more things for Duke Energy. They're replacing our fires. They have like the X amount of square foot they're doing this year and next year as well. Is that over there, like 3 million? Now, I must have. I heard my one was that high for around years, but there is a lot of work. And it's got to, a lot of it's got to get done before the end of this year. Or February. Yeah, there's a heavy up in that market, Charlotte.
Still goes back where all of this. Yeah, I mean, at least I don't foresee it slowing up.
I know we have 2 or 3 just up there in the University area, Highland Creek area. There's 2 or 3 collecting replacement on. But like it says, it's like a certain amount that they do by having here, but next year it's a few more planned, like consider kind of.
A lot more abandoned facility for you to work with project.
Yeah, thanks. But I get your address, I'll send you my lost production. You might have anything else? Again, Tracy, thank y'all, Charlotte Water, for allowing us to use this facility. It's a nice facility. I know it's new, you only been in it short time. 3-4 weeks. Can't thank y'all again. It is not, I guess, it's good for everybody parking and getting in and guys, we got another option. Pete, thank y'all for lunch, sponsoring lunch. I'm gonna say we appreciate that. Anybody want to do a prayer?
Next meeting,
Next meeting,
October 25th. We will be here
again.
again. Thank you, Charlotte Water.
About that, you don't have GPS if you want to end up at the sewer plant. Yeah, it should be here. But no, if nobody has anything else, you got anything, Miss Tammy?
No, sir, that was it. October 25th here.
Oh, you gotta wear your costume, so y'all, I know y'all want the head on, you take it home, get it cleaned up.
Is there a competition?
That's a good idea. The guys ain't down for it, but I can bring my feet and do it. We.
All right.
Right. Miss Lonnie's hungry. If nobody's got anything else, which, how do you want them to go? Are they ready to start? Let's say y'all leave.
Tim and Carl. That's the end of that. I think we're gonna go get a bite of barbecue. Have a fantastic afternoon.
You too. Take care. All right.
Thank you,
Great to see you,
Tim.
Tammy.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.